Hello again from Climatecamp TV outside the Royal Bank of Scotland in Edinburgh, Scotland. I'm here with Anneleen and Matthius, who've come from Belgium, where you've been at the second climate camp to take place in Belgium. Anneleen, tell us a bit about it.
Indeed, so the second climate action camp in Belgium took place the first week of August, so just a few weeks ago. And in fact, our main goal was to shut down the airport of Liege, and we've done that successfully. So Liege airport is how big an airport, and what does it do? It's rather a small airport, but it's one of the airports that has a very big influence on climate change in that sense that much of the food and the flowers, etc., that we consume in Belgium are imported from the other side of the world, and so it's of course, if you look to climate change, it has a very disastrous effect on it.
So foods we shouldn't be eating, basically, we should be eating local food instead. Matthias, how did you stop the airport?
Well, we had 3 groups participating in the action. We had first a group that was doing a direct action with lock-ons, locked itself to the main entrance road where the trucks arriving to be with all the food that was imported by the planes. Then we had a bike block, which was supposed to block a number of streets and also distract a little bit the police. And thirdly, there was this kind of demonstration and a kids block, which had banners and was to make the demonstration or the action a little bit more festive.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What kind of response did you have from the authorities and the police and so forth, and from the media?
The police was quite calm. Of course, I expected an action because we announced it on beforehand. But nevertheless, we shut it down one day successfully, so we were glad with the results of the action, and we had also very good media coverage, so in fact I think for us it was really a success.
Terrific. So where did you get the idea to do Climate Camp?
Yeah, it's clear that it comes from Britain. So our camp was really inspired on the British model. Of course, it's a little bit smaller in terms of size, but many of the practices, how the camp is organized practically, the messaging, the political statements, the discourse is very, very similar to the British climate camp actually.
So it's consensus decision making and that kind of process.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and in fact, the reason that we wanted to organize such a climate action camp is that on this moment you have a big environmental movement in Belgium, but you have almost none more radical environmental movement who takes direct action, who has a more political message, and that was in fact the reason that we and a lot of other people had the idea like we have to build a more radical wing in this environmental movement, otherwise we will never stop climate change, and that's one of the reasons why we organized last year the first climate action camp and this year the second.
So are you defining yourselves against the mainstream environmental NGOs in a certain sense then?
We're not opposing them or trying to enter into conflict with them, but we do have a different approach, and we do want to enter into a debate with them and to show that there are alternative ways of being an environmentalist or doing different kind of action or having a different kind of political position. So not having any illusions in cooperating with big multinationals, not having too much illusions in lobbying towards governments, etc., but taking actions ourselves as citizens, as activists, creating a grassroots movement which is fundamentally anti-capitalist, which is climate change, we cannot solve it within a capitalist system. This is basically what distinguishes us from the mainstream environmental movement.
Yeah, and if you look to the history of social change, you see that in fact things start moving on the moment that just ordinary people take action, come on the streets, raise their voices, and that's not what the main environmental movement is doing for this moment. So they're lobbying, they're talking about individual behavior change, and it are all things that are of course very important, but we think if we want to stop climate change and if we want to do it soon, then we need a broad movement. That's the only way to change society.
Okay, so if anyone can get down to the day of action who isn't already planning to on this Monday, that's 2 days from now, at the Royal Bank of Scotland in Edinburgh, please do so. More from Climatecamp TV soon.